Welcome to another episode of TeeVo The Beard.
You can't see us, but I am TeeVo, and that is the Beard.
Yes, and even though I am the resident Doctor Who fan, you actually bring news that I don't know about yet.
Yes, but it just happened.
Yeah.
And you have good reason for it.
Yeah.
And, well, it's interesting because, even as a non-Whovian, prior to this month,
right,
you can't escape pop culture.
Yeah.
And this is pop culture. Mm-hmm. So even if I wasn't watching it, now I am.
Right.
I would have at least seen and known about it.
Right.
And go, oh, okay, well, that's that.
And tell our lovely listeners what you're referring to here.
Well, today, it's no surprise that we have a female doctor. Mm-hmm. That's already been announced. Right. But today, they gave a picture of what she looks like.
Okay.
As in her actual costume.
As the doctor.
Because the first teaser they showed, it looked like she was wearing Peter's clothes.
Right. Which is how it normally goes.
Exactly. Yeah. They were their predecessor's clothes. Mm-hmm. But now they give us the actual clothes. What do you think? Let me, how about you describe what you're seeing?
Okay, so we have...
We'll put a picture on the, title page and everything.
We do have the traditional long coat.
Yes.
Different style, though. It's a lighter color, which makes me assume that this season's going to be a bit lighter. Mm-hmm. Also, it looks like she's wearing yellow suspenders and a shirt with a rainbow on it. It's like a very 70s type look. And
very high-waisted pants.
Very high-waisted pants, and you can see a little bit of calf there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, no, I'm digging it.
She's styling.
Yeah. Each doctor has had their own very distinct look, and yeah, that one does make me want to assume, though, that this is going to be not necessarily a happier season, but definitely a lighter season as far as possibly some of the plots and stuff that they have.
Right.
So,
well, I just want to know, when is the Master coming back?
Right.
Because I looked at, I have now watched at least one episode with each Master.
Yeah.
And as history shows, they pop up. Yeah. It's just when. Because it's not that often.
Right.
I think that makes the character extra special. It's
not
like it's the ongoing. I mean, in the grand scheme of it, it is the ongoing villain.
Yeah, but it's not like the Daleks or the Cybermen and things like that. I mean, they just keep. It's like, we need a villain. We're gonna throw the Daleks in.
Yeah,
yeah.
However, I guess bad news for me, because I always think, well, every doctor, handles the Master at some point. Well, I saw that Matt's did. Right. Which begs me to believe, what do I need to watch Matt Smith's doctor for?
Don't let Mrs. Beard let you hear that. That's her doctor.
Oh, no. Well, I gotta say, because I've looked at some of his adventures going,
Some of them get a little zanier than past doctors did. Yeah. Dinosaurs on a Spaceship is a great example.
But that's hers?
That's hers.
That's hers?
Yeah.
Any second runner-ups?
No, because that's the only one that she's watched all the way through.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
No inclination to watch previous or future?
Oh, she's watched some of on both sides. Just Matt Smith is the only one that she watched all the way through, and that she would actually carve out time in her schedule to watch. Yeah, him and his weird no eyebrowness.
He does have a weird no eyebrowness.
I know.
That's another thing that's off-putting to me.
It is, yeah.
In fact,
and you don't get used to it. At least I didn't.
In fact, that's the one I don't have any episodes of, because he did not tangle with the Master.
Yeah. So sorry, Matt Smith. I know you're listening, but you're not David Tennant.
I do enjoy the David Tennant.
Yeah.
And I do enjoy the new guy, too. Yeah. I'm sad that he's leaving this year.
Yeah, but
But, if we're going to go retro, who I really started to really enjoy?
Who? John
Pertwee.
Okay.
The third Doctor.
Okay.
I like him. I'm sad that he's dead.
Yeah.
But
that's the problem when you start looking at retro episodes of things.
Well, it's sad that he is dead, and the Master that he tangled with, he has been dead.
Yeah.
He is dead.
Yeah.
I did the math. He has been dead for 44 years.
Oh, wow.
So
longer than I've been alive.
Yeah. Longer than a lot of people.
Yeah.
I know.
At least most of our listeners.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's the Doctor news. We're exiting the TARDIS.
All right.
And I guess we're gonna go into our shows, but today is going to be a different episode.
Yes.
Mainly because I gave up on The Flash again. Mm-hmm. As in, I just didn't watch it.
Right.
Not give up on the show, period.
Not yet.
I don't want to.
Right.
But, again, I went home, And this time, it was a more concentrated effort to watch it. I came home, I turned on my Xbox, which has a CW app. I hovered over the CW app.
Yeah.
And I just didn't feel like watching it.
Okay.
Unlike the night before, where I go home, I turn on the Xbox, I turn on CW, I go to Supergirl, I watch Supergirl.
Right. Well, since you already brought up The Flash, I'll give kind of my, 30-second review.
Yeah.
Bachelor party, bachelorette party. Barry gets drunk on a thing that Cisco makes. It's a very funny episode, like genuinely laugh out loud funny. That's not what I want from The Flash, though. And Killer Frost is back. Come to find out, back. Come to find out, I don't like that actress as Snow or Frost. Now she brought her woodenness to Frost. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Elongated Man is now on the team. And he's even in the intro part.
And I think that's the other thing that kind of off-puts me about this. Because if you're telling me that you had no budget or time and energy in putting story into having a sidekick or a partner, sure. And that's why you got Wally. You got rid of Wally, sure. But immediately after,
I mean, the body wasn't even cold yet.
You get a stretchy man for it.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Even if they would have got a sidekick who had like some sparks, is his meta power, something, some small budget special effect, I would even understand that more.
Yeah.
But to have somebody who you're spending probably a similar amount of money on to make, stretch as you did making Wally run.
Now, did the CW Flash division do some kind of survey that we didn't know about? And majority of people said, we hate that there are two people running. They
probably surveyed non-Flash fans. They were like, what do you want to see in order to get you to watch the show?
Because it's like, what's wrong with two running people? It's the Flash.
Right.
But no, it's like, I want like a different person. If you had a guy that stretches.
And he needs to be a bit of a jackass.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can't have two nice people on this. Yeah. And he's got to take Barry to a strip club where they see Celia's daughter dancing there. Yeah, it was one of those kind of episodes.
Huh.
Yeah. Now, if I gave you this plot line for a sitcom or something like that, you'd go right out and watch it.
Fantastic.
Yeah. But if I tell you this is The Flash, no.
Well, I'm going to be honest. Next week's synopsis, I'm still on the boat about. It's like, what do I really need to know about this? Because the whole point of next week's synopsis essentially is to find out who the Thinker is.
Right. To finally get get the plot going.
And then, but see, the thing is, the next episode after that, for whatever reason they give it to us, the synopsis is essentially Barry confronts the Thinker.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, do I need to watch the episode where you're trying to figure it out?
Yeah.
Because apparently you do.
And already we've seen the Thinker too, so it's not like it's a surprise what he looks like or anything like that, or what he's doing.
I mean, the draw of next week's episode is that they're gathering the Harrison Wells of the multiverse into a council to figure out who the Thinker is.
Which, with that part itself, you already know it's going to be another funny episode.
Yes. And it sounds like it could be a good episode.
Yeah.
But it's just, I said this to you earlier this week. I'm into forward progress right now on The Flash.
Right.
And because I already know, well, obviously you figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm just going to watch the episode where he, talks to the Thinker.
Yeah. Because obviously something the Thinker does is what's going to lead to the crossover.
Oh, wow.
Thing.
I just thought of next week, I'm going to probably be CW-less.
You probably will.
Because jump to the other CW show, the one that's winning to us.
Right.
The one that's winning to us. Even though this week, I thought it was a good episode of Supergirl.
Yeah.
It was highly predictable, though.
It was definitely the lesser for this season.
Yeah.
But that's still
but still stronger than Flash, obviously, because I watched it.
But it even makes it better than last season for Supergirl.
And you're probably thinking out there, Dirty Dozen. It's like, well, wow, you're supposed to give us reviews on these shows. Well, this is a very honest review. The fact that I'm not watching it should tell you something.
Yeah.
But that's besides
the fact you can go to Wikipedia, read the synopsis, and be,
happy,
well informed.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
Where you couldn't have done that with Supergirl. There were nuanced things in there, but beside the predictable things that made it very enjoyable.
Yes, but the thing I'm glad they stopped advertising, or maybe I'm just not in tune with it. The whole Kevin Smith directs an episode.
Right.
Because at this point, it's like, who cares?
Right.
As in, like, the first time he did The Flash, he brought a Kevin Smith sense to it.
Right.
I mean, mainly that helped with having Jason Mewes in it.
Yeah.
But there was a reason. It felt like, oh, wow, that he directed that episode. And then subsequently, he keeps taking on other jobs, and it's like, I couldn't tell you even did anything.
If I wouldn't have called out the corner of my eye directed by Kevin Smith, I wouldn't have guessed it.
Yeah.
With this one.
Same with this. Actually, from ever since his first one, you couldn't guess.
Right. Unless his daughter's in there.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, 2.
Yeah.
2 episodes where you're like, Kevin Smith directed that one.
Right. And I kept looking for his daughter in Supergirl this time.
I just kept looking for, like, I don't see why they won't let him, or, because if, I'd be mad if I was Jason Mewes.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, dude, I'd be like, dude, why not? I mean, if they're specifically not letting you put secret Kevin Smith cameos, I get it, but come on. He could have been somewhere in this.
Yeah.
I mean, even the first episode, The Runaway Dinosaur of the Flash, he didn't have to be there. It just helped.
Yeah. I mean, I know you're not going to get like Matt Damon or, Affleck in there, but you've got a plethora of other people.
I would be happy. And, I told this to Jason Mewes when I met him. I was like, every episode Kevin directs in CW, like, you gotta be in it. I don't care.
Right.
And he like, I totally agree, man. I'm just telling Kevin that.
Right.
Hasn't happened though.
Yeah.
And we're both probably upset.
Yeah.
So Jason Mewes, if you're listening, clearly, people want you there.
Yeah, but we see who wears the pants in that relationship there.
Too.
Yeah.
So
Kevin Smith is the one with the name on it.
Yep. But besides the whole Kevin Smith thing, what else did you think of the episode?
I thought that I was thankful they finally ripped the Band-Aid off the whole Maggie Alex thing.
Yes.
Even though they did play with our heartstrings a little bit in the middle there, where I was like, okay, maybe they're back on again.
But unfortunately, when they keep hitting us in the head with the whole, Floriana Lima's leaving, Floriana Lima's leaving, Floriana Lima's leaving, it's like, well, clearly, it's going to glimmer a hope, but it's not going to go anywhere.
But they made it make sense.
Yes.
At least. Where unlike all of their fights from last season and a couple of their first fights in this season, I mean, it was almost like the writers wanted them to be butting heads just for the sake of it. But this one about having children is a legitimate fight that people have in the real world, and that really breaks up relationships in the real world. And
I like that even though we're spoiled by, things that come out, like, casting or, plot synopsis.
Yeah.
It was nice to have that glimmer of hope and then have it end that way. It was nice to see that they left happily.
Yeah.
As they can be.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a big on fight.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, well, I hate you now, and I hate you too. I'm leaving.
And you could tell, though, that this episode was about it was about Maggie and Alex, because the whole lead poisoning thing was almost very B plot.
Yeah.
The thing that actually involved Supergirl.
Well, but the thing is, I will say to Supergirl, those people are not afraid to get topical.
No.
We'll let you watch it to figure out what we mean.
Yeah.
But ever since pretty much the beginning of season 2, it's like they're not afraid to tackle certain issues.
Yeah, I'm glad to see Not Talbot taking on a bigger role in this. Because when they first showed him in the first episode, I thought he was going to be like a little one-off thing.
Same here.
Yeah, but now he's not just evil because he's rich. He's evil because he's doing evil things.
Yes.
Yeah.
But still predictable, though.
Yeah.
Because the whole time you're like, well, you did something. Well, I don't know how you did it, but we know you did it.
The one thing that wasn't predictable, as far as timing, was how they went from, okay, the pool has been poisoned, and then literally look behind the door, okay, this is what's poisoning it. I expected there to be a little bit more time in between the reveal there, but they really rushed that.
Yes. Well, and not everything's perfect in the Supergirl-verse.
Yeah.
But they're still doing a better job this year.
And what the hell is Olsen? What did Cat Grant leave Jimmy Olsen? When she left Catco, I could have swore that she left Jimmy in charge.
Yes.
Then Lena comes in.
Well, because she bought.
Right.
I don't think Cat Grant has much say when someone literally buys the place.
But then it's like she just totally moves him out of the way without even consulting anything or anybody. And then...
While being Irish.
Yeah, and then gives him a little bit of a position back in this episode, and then... Yeah.
Well, I mean, don't forget, just
let Jimmy do his job.
Well, hey, don't forget that we do coin this show Puppy Dogs and Rainbows.
Right, yeah.
So, there's that.
Yeah. But let Jimmy have his job because we don't want him to get bored and try to be the Guardian again. Oh. So, let him run Catco.
But, you know what? I was very afraid in the beginning when that prison bus was going out of control. Yeah. Supergirl stops the bus and then in comes a human. I was like, oh God, is it Guardian? Oh no, it's Alex.
Right, yeah.
Someone who's qualified.
Yeah.
You know Alex should be the Guardian.
She should, yeah.
Because the one thing I will say that turned me off about season 1 with the character Alex, it was like, you're clearly trying to make a Black Widow.
Right.
But I don't want I want Supergirl.
Right.
So I'm watching Supergirl.
Right.
If I want Black Widow, I'll watch the Marvel films.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, granted, the character grew on me a little bit, but...
Yeah.
You know, why didn't she be the Guardian? She could be more qualified.
Definitely, yeah.
I mean, maybe not wear the exact same, but just kind of,
Yeah.
I mean, come on, when you're telling me you can't make something.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he also got a bigger role in this too.
Yeah, no, they could not have saved the day without Wynn.
They could
time.
not.
Yeah.
They could not. But, I don't know about you, but I like the way they've been using Wynn so far.
Yeah.
It's kind of been, even though I will agree they don't use him a lot, but I still like him.
Yeah.
He hasn't gotten to me the way Cisco does.
Yeah.
I think on the opposite side of the pool, the Flash be like, oh, well, everybody likes the funny stuff. We're just gonna make sure he tells jokes nonstop.
Right. Yeah, he is purely comic relief. Where Wynn is like, he is obviously comic relief.
Yes.
But like in lowercase because he's comic relief when it needs to be, but he's serious most of the time.
Very.
Yeah.
Well, whenever serious things happen, like last season with his girlfriend, you believed he belongs in that situation.
Yeah. He is the
Whereas whenever they tried to make Cisco very mad and sad, I was like, stop pouting.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Wynn is our the CW version of Fitz.
Yes.
That's what Wynn is.
Yes. We like you.
Yeah.
We like you. Please, if you want to be on the show.
Yes. Please come on the show.
Yeah.
But speaking of ABC, so give us the very brief synopsis of Inhumans, since obviously it's still going for now.
One more.
Okay.
Well, actually, not. I meant like one more beyond this one.
Okay. Yeah.
So, they get back to Atlan. Triton's alive.
Okay.
And Gorgon's alive.
Okay.
There you go.
The end.
But I will say, and I was telling you this earlier this week, here's another way that this show could have been better.
Okay.
This season right here, this 8 episodes we're watching, should have been season 2.
Okay.
And I'll explain. Yeah. So I've already said that if they're wanting to hike up kind of that Marvel connection that they've been doing so well in other shows, whether it be Netflix or S.H.I.E.L.D., in some ways they've made it very clear that while we may not see what we see in the movies, like this is the world.
Right. Yeah.
Some better than others, and then when they do shows within that network, kind of like all the Netflix Defender series, and even S.H.I.E.L.D. with like Agent Carter.
Right.
Either they're like, hey, we're connected to the bigger universe. We're definitely connected to this other show you're watching.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't forget that. Whereas Inhumans didn't really do that.
Right.
They made you think, oh, well, the Marvel name.
Right.
And if you somewhat kind of read comics, you know who these characters are.
And you've heard the word Inhumans.
Yeah. So clearly you're going to like this.
Right.
That's not the case.
But we're not going to explain anything else to you.
We're not going to explain anything. So I already said in previous episodes, they should have hiked up the connection with S.H.I.E.L.D. If that's where you're introducing Inhumans, you should have maybe, if we saw like a Black Bolt symbol for the royal family, or maybe have, like I said, an old like hermit in Afterlife to tell the story of the royal family, just to kind of just lay the groundwork.
Yeah.
Small groundwork. Like you're not even putting the cement down. You're literally marking.
It's the blueprints.
Yes, and you're doing the thing where they put the stick in and the pink whatever that is.
I'm sure it has a name.
But it's to plan where it is.
Right. Yeah.
If that could have been done with that. Mm-hmm. Cut to whenever Hive comes in, and I'm not saying redo S.H.I.E.L.D. season 3.
Okay.
But being the first Inhuman, they could have elaborated more. Maybe they could have done season 1 where Hive attacked Attilan or something. Attacked Attilan. What I'm getting at is like season 1 of Inhumans should have been all on Attilan. They don't go to Earth.
Right.
And also it's a common enemy, so everybody in the royal family fights the bad guy.
Right.
And there's hints of Maximus not being totally on their side.
Okay. Instead of just going straight for Man in Black, bad guy.
Well, it's what mostly Marvel's done really well with bad guys is sometimes they've not played it to the book. Mm-hmm.
Literally.
Like with Doctor Strange. Mm-hmm. We all know Baron Mordo is the bad guy in the comics. That's just that. Mm-hmm. But in the movie, you're like, all right, haha, Mordo, you're the bad guy. You're going to be the... you're not a part of that. Oh, you're not a part of that.
Yeah.
Wait, are you the bad guy?
Right.
And he's not the bad guy till the very end.
Mm-hmm. And it makes it worth more when they do it like that. I mean, even on the other side, if you look at a character like the Joker, it's understandable why he's the villain in air quotes there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but with Maximus, it's like, okay, you're the bad guy because they told us you're the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, something like a season 1 where they all band together because they are the family.
Right.
And then they defeat the bad guy, whatever. And they could have done something like, Black Bolt makes a decision that's very unpopular with Attilan, which gives Maximus more of a reason to do what he's doing in this season. Okay. But it makes you also understand.
Yeah.
It's just, right now you're like, well, okay, sure. Well, you're the bad guy because you're the bad guy. You're going to be overthrown because it moves the plot.
Right.
And also, a whole other season could have given you maybe more of who these people are. It makes you care that Medusa was shaved.
Right.
And also, when Triton dies in the first episode, you're like, oh my goodness, I can't believe they did that.
Yeah.
And so when he comes back, like he did in the previous episode, you're like, yay! Instead of, well, what was the point of that?
Right, yeah.
Little stuff like that.
Now, would that itch of yours be satisfied if they did a prequel season?
That will be a bridge crossed when it happens.
Okay. Now, what if it was a prequel season with Brett Dalton as Hive?
Oh boy, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
Because I know that Brett Dalton can get you in the door there.
He can. They could always find a way to say, part of Hive wasn't destroyed in the, explosions. Some of them landed on the moon somehow. Yeah. I don't care.
Because of comic book logic.
Because of comic book logic.
Yeah.
But let's just say if you actually brought Brett Dalton's Hive back to fight the Inhumans, I wouldn't hate it so far. But that would be where it is. It really is, because we don't know these people. We had no prior knowledge, even if you are comic book fans. Yeah. It was just tough to kind of get into it and care. But we only have one episode left in the season.
Yeah, season spelled series.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll go from Inhumans to Mutants. I tried watching The Gifted. I fell asleep through the episode, and then I almost fell asleep reading the synopsis. I kind of feel about this one like you do about Flash. I want to see something happen. The good thing with this one is I feel that they're leaving it for like the last 2 episodes. Those are going to be the big action-packed ones that we're looking for.
You know what I can say?
Yeah.
I don't think you really missed much.
No.
Other than...
You weren't in this episode.
I was not in this episode, so I was a little disappointed.
Yeah.
Also, they're starting to figure out more what the bad guys are doing with the mutants they catch.
Okay.
That's that.
Yeah. Now, how do you feel about, not Maximus, Marco?
Well, I did say this episode I did like him more because he had no Polaris thing to do. So that was very nice. It was like, oh, well, this is what it would be like if I actually liked you.
Right.
And then the last scene, he's in bed with her. It's like, oh, well.
And now you hate him.
Please die.
Right.
But
it was a very short-lived relationship you had with him.
Was very. I gotta say, something about that actress and the way she portrays Polaris.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
This is all I'm going to say about
Yeah,
that.
no, it's a family show, so we'll keep it at that.
Yeah.
And the other Fox show is The Orville.
Yes.
Now, this one we kind of have polarizing opinions of it. We both enjoyed the episode.
But I loved it.
Right. I thought it was a really good episode, but not to the same level that Orville has been putting out.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to give the brief synopsis on what happened?
Dr. Finn and her children, along with Isaac, are stranded on a kind of deserted, sickly planet.
Mm-hmm.
And it's up to them to figure out how to get out.
Yeah, and of course Isaac is the android character, yes. the robotic sentient
being. The Kalon.
Kalon, yeah. So you've got like the typical sci-fi fish out of water. How does this machine and this human, how do they get along in all this?
But I love the episode because I like that they literally took them out of the comfort zone.
Right.
These characters out of their comfort zone. And not only they already took them out of the comfort zone, they even took it out of the comfort zone of the comfort zone.
Right, yeah.
Because the ship that they were on gets separated. So Dr. Finn is on her own, and her children are with Isaac.
Right. Yeah, so it did keep upping the stakes.
Yeah.
And we are still, since we're still new with the show is still new and all that, we don't know who is 100% safe or not. So the kids could have died, the doctor could have died, we could still lose anybody at this point.
But I think I really, really like this episode because, like I said, the stakes were high in this. From the very beginning, you saw that stakes were high, and also the interaction, the very human interactions with these children. Yeah. These children who, especially the little one, who probably doesn't get a lot of, time with her mother, being, she's one of the commanding officers.
Yeah.
And he's forced to be in this kind of terrible environment with this android who doesn't emote feelings.
Right.
Not out of, hate or anything.
Yeah.
But that's just how he is.
Not how he's programmed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought the interactions with them was the most entertaining parts to me.
Yeah.
And also being between the older child who, has the traditional, oh, I hate my mom feeling. And then he even calls him out. Well, call him out on it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely a very well done episode. One thing that I still enjoy about Orville is its episodicness. So the fact that this wasn't my favorite episode, if I go back and rewatch it, or if I'm showing it to Mrs. Beard, we can skip the episode. It's not going to take away from anything on either side of it. So definite props to Mr. McFarlane there.
But what's also interesting is that he really took himself completely out of this.
Oh yeah. Last week he took himself kind of out of it, and this week is like, who's the captain?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even Mockingbird was out of it.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I can't remember what next week's episode is, but there is one coming out where it's going to be an Alara episode that I'm very interested in seeing.
Okay.
I believe someone in the crew dies.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be a main cast member.
Right.
But nonetheless, I think it's going to be how she deals with it being head of security, letting someone die on her watch.
Okay.
So I don't think it's this week. It could be this week. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's coming up. I know that for sure.
And like we've mentioned before, the other great thing about this show is they do give everybody kind of their moment to shine. It's not just about the captain or just about the first officer or anything like that. It's a well-rounded cast, and they're good at giving characters an episode without making it obvious. I mean, this last one was a little bit more obvious because they were literally alone on this planet. But like the previous episodes, it was about this one character, but all the ones interacted. Yeah. And this one had, would you consider this one a Doctor episode or an Isaac episode?
I like it more for an Isaac episode.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
But I mean, Dr. Finn's totally a part of it.
She was definitely had her moments to shine too.
But let's just say if like Dr. Finn was the only one stranded, it could have been, I'd probably feel maybe the way you feel overall.
Yeah.
But because Isaac was in it and we saw that very interesting relationship, that's what really, topped the episode for me.
Yeah, and I like that he wasn't just like C-3PO comic relief sort of thing. Yeah, because they could have totally gone off the tracks.
Because everything he was saying was very, true to his character. He's going to do things that makes the most sense. And he's going to say things that makes the most sense.
Right.
Like even, when the little child was scared and the first instinct a little child does is to, hold on to an adult figure.
Right.
And he goes, the danger has passed. You can let go of me now.
Yeah.
Just that thinking he has in his head.
Yeah.
And the fact that he grows towards this human emotion at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, it was kind of cool.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. And then to stay in space, this week was the penultimate episode of Discovery for the fall half of the season. So we have one more episode after this, and I've got to say 2 things about this episode. One, the trailer fooled me. It was the first time that it has fooled me, and I feel in a negative way. They got my emotions going because the captain says in the preview, the captain says, now is not the time to mourn, that time will come. So I thought for sure we were going to see like
something bad.
A major character or a secondary character at least, kick it. No. I'm going to go ahead. I don't like to spoil this ship. I'm going to go ahead and spoil that. No, it's another ship. Sorry for the crew of the other ship, but I didn't, we're not invested in any of them. So I really didn't care. And I was like, oh, that's the scene you were talking about. Okay, no. This was probably the least overwhelming episode. It didn't really move too much forward. It gave a little bit of information. I think it's really set up for the final episode of this half of the season to be the, blockbuster, keep you on the edge of your seat, make you want to come back in January type episode. They just needed something here. I do like, though, that similar to Orville, and unlike the original Star Treks, we don't know who's safe on this. Because anybody could die. They've put people in dangerous situations. We've had people arrested. We've had, people almost die. So anything could still happen with this. It's not like in the original series. If you were a crew member that did not have a name, you're dead. Especially if you're going on an away mission, you're going to get shot or eaten or something like that. With this one, Michael could end up dying. Don't know. I mean, I doubt.
Doubt it. But
yeah.
Because if she did, she left The Walking Dead for a very bad reason.
Right. No, then we find out that she's buried on Earth and comes back in The Walking Dead as a walker in the future. Their future, or no, their past, our future. It all makes sense in Star Trek. So.
Well, those are our shows.
Yep.
We're going to take a break, and then we're going to talk about the shows that, well, you never hear us talk about, really.
Exactly. Or rarely, at least.
Yeah.
And we're back.
So, being that, even though we enjoyed our shows, not Flash, this week...
Well, on the grand scheme of things, we enjoy our shows.
We enjoy our shows. But this week was a lot of, for, consensus of us, the more underwhelming week.
Yeah. And that's...
Oh, I'm so curious of what's going to happen next week.
Yeah.
I don't watch at least 2 of them. And I'm sorry, nothing personal, Supergirl. I also want to add, Supergirl, next week's episode looks very filler.
It's about sisterhood and origins.
It screams filler to me.
Yeah. When the preview looks filler, the episode probably will be.
And unlike The Flash, where it's kind of taken offense when I don't watch it. Supergirl people, if you're listening, because it feels like your crew is listening, don't take it personal that I might not watch next week's.
Right.
I'm just going to put that there.
Because you're not a girl who grew up with a sister.
I am a boy that grew up with a sister, but...
different dynamic.
But also, I feel like, we kind of got how Alex and Kara relate to each other. Yeah, I don't feel like...
But obviously the writers needed to fill another 45 minutes.
They do, just like probably how you felt about this week's Discovery.
Right.
But, and I respect that.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to save an hour.
We'll let the other 3 million people watch it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if there's something important, well, thank goodness for comicbook.com, Entertainment Weekly, and Wikipedia.
Right. Exactly.
Fill me in whenever I need help.
Yeah. So besides superheroes and space shows, what are you watching?
Well, this week I wanted to say, let's give a shout out to these shows.
Mm-hmm.
Let's dedicate some time to talk about the shows that entertain us that are not Supergirl.
Yeah.
And for me, I want to give a shout out to the Mick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give us the 30-second synopsis of the Mick.
It is a 30-second count.
Ooh. They get a lot done in 30 seconds.
They do. Caitlin Olsen is a genius.
Oh, right. It makes it seem like a half hour when you watch it.
She is a genius. Yeah. She can do all that in 30 seconds.
So rewind, try that again.
It's a 30-minute comedy, so not an hour long. We, no big commitment.
Right.
It's about this basically just total dumpster fire of a human.
Okay.
Named Mickey,
mm-hmm.
who's played by Caitlin Olsen, and then she is forced to take care of her niece and nephews after her sister goes to prison for embezzlement with her husband.
And this comes on Fox.
Okay. So you're like, okay, the bad adult with children, and plus her sister in the show is also rich, so it's also two kind of fish out of water stories.
Okay.
But because it's also written by, people, it's also written and produced by people who also worked on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Even though it is kind of family-esque, there's still some things you shouldn't show kids.
It's definitely
even still being on Fox, so it's not like it's overly crude as It's Always Sunny can get.
Yeah.
But it's just that
right. It's definitely not for Little Beard.
Not yet.
Yeah.
But I would say maybe Little Beard grows on a couple years.
Okay.
It could be funny.
Mm-hmm.
You'd probably have to watch it with her to explain certain things. But the physical comedy in it, Caitlin Olsen, man, she's got physical comedy down.
Okay.
And sometimes it gets gross. Like, I cringed in the show of the grossness. There was one episode where she was trying to stop a wedding. Mm-hmm. And they always find ways to just, destroy Caitlin Olsen in the show. So she's tapping on the glass and, the cliche, no, don't do it.
Yeah.
And then the glass breaks. She falls a story down. And she gets back up. She's like, oh, yeah, I'm okay. And then it's revealed that she has a giant shark glass in her neck.
Oh.
And she's like, oh, God, oh, God. And then she pulls it out, and all of a sudden, she just starts spewing blood. And I'm just
wow.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I would not have guessed that.
And then this episode right now, there's always that moment of the oh my God moment. Mm-hmm. This one didn't involve Caitlin Olsen. She probably was like, hey, can I not bleed in this one?
Yeah.
But one of the kids was playing with a crossbow and accidentally shoots his friend in the shoulder. And it's one of those you're like, oh wow.
Yeah.
That was something. So, but I really enjoy the show. I enjoy the actress anyway, so I was going to give the show a chance, but it just keeps me excited. Yeah. Which is really bad for The Flash, because the past 2 weeks, when I go home, it's so premeditated that I want to get home as soon as I can. Yeah. When Hulu uploads on Fox at 3 a.m., I am watching the Mick. Okay. I am so dead excited to watch the Mick. Wow.
Nice.
And it used to be like that with The Flash. It used to be, at least last year was, okay, I'm going to watch The Flash. Mm-hmm. That time's going to go by. And by the time I'm done with The Flash, the Mick will be uploaded. Right. Well, like yesterday and last week, got home and...
went straight to the Mick?
Well, I couldn't.
Well, as straight as you could.
But let's say I watched YouTube.
Oh, wow.
Until the Mick came on.
So nothing else even replaced Flash. It was just I will literally watch anything else waiting for the Mick.
If that's how, you know what? Yeah.
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 But that says a lot for the Mick, too, that you're willing to, instead of just waiting till you get up the next day to watch it, it's no, once it's uploaded,
I'm watching it.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, Caitlin Olsen, or if anybody even knows Caitlin Olsen on the that's listening to us, tell her that.
Yes, yeah, and we'd love to have you on the show.
Yeah,
yeah,
and bring your husband.
Yeah,
yeah, bring Rob.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
yeah. So,
what's one that you're watching that's fantasy sci-fi-ish?
Well, I was gonna bring up a genre that has appeared lately, and it's the '80s genre.
Okay,
the Goldbergs started it. Which the Goldbergs I enjoy as a show, but there are times when it does kind of push it in your face that this is set in the 80s. We have to bring up every big thing that's going on right now. We have to bring up Star Wars, Princess Bride. We have to.
I'm gonna put a placeholder in that. I got another show that reminds me exactly like that.
Okay.
It's on the same network, but I'll let you finish the Goldbergs.
And then you take, the new Netflix phenomenon, Stranger Things, which I really won't go into too much about because, one, you don't watch it. And
I know, right?
And two, if somebody, wants to hear about it, there are a plethora of other sources out there who
more qualified.
who dive into it more than I do.
Yeah.
But the one I never hear anybody talk about is an Amazon Prime original called Red Oaks.
Probably because nobody's heard of it.
Right, but
there's a reason probably why nobody's talking about it.
But it's got 3 great seasons. It's got a great cast.
And now, is it ongoing or is it done?
It's done.
Was it intentional done?
Yes.
Really?
And it actually ends.
Really?
Yes.
So I need to.
I know how you feel. I know how you feel about shows that don't actually end.
Ooh, that's very tempting.
Yeah, and they're not long seasons, but they're.
Amazon doesn't really, for my knowledge of Amazon shows, they don't pack it in. They give a very finite amount each season. Yeah,
and it's set around this country club called Red Oaks, and you have your main protagonist, who is this kid who doesn't know what he's doing with his life, and his parents end up getting a divorce, and his mom is
Jennifer Grey.
Right.
If you don't know her, she's in bed with Clark Gregg.
Literally.
Yes.
Yeah, probably right now.
What time is it? What time is it in California? Yeah, they probably.
Yeah,
he's not shooting S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right. Also, if you're not familiar with Clark Gregg, for some unknown reason, she was also big because of Dirty Dancing.
Yeah.
So she has Clark Gregg, Dirty Dancing, and Red Oaks. That's her entire resume right there.
Yes.
Don't fact check me on that. That's just what
Ferris Bueller, don't forget.
Oh, Ferris Bueller, yeah.
Okay, that's the last thing.
4 things.
It's the last thing.
But I like Red Oaks because it is set in the 80s. It feels and looks like it, even though they don't go plugging everything they can. I mean, there's a couple things here and there because, pop culture stuff happened.
Yeah,
you can't ignore it.
You can't escape what was there.
Yeah.
But
you don't have to theme an entire episode around it. And I love that it's a dramedy. So there are very serious parts, but it sprinkles in comedy in there. So there's a stoner character who obviously is the comic relief, but has so much character growth and development that by the end of it, he's one of the ones I didn't want to see go. He's one of the reasons. Well, as far as the show ending.
Okay.
Yeah. Him and the tennis pro are 2 people that I didn't want to see. I want to go see them in other things.
I thought you meant like, oh wow, I get serious.
Yeah, no. Thankfully, it doesn't get that serious. The main parts it gets serious in is like relationship issues and stuff like that. Okay. Like you find out.
Certain shows, especially about finding yourself and growing up, they can take a turn.
Yeah.
Classic example is The Wonder Years.
Oh yeah.
Like
The Wonder Years was no hold bar.
And sometimes people went.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, wow, but that's life.
Yeah. But I like this new genre that's formed so that we do get things like Red Oaks and Stranger Things and Glow and to a lesser extent Goldbergs. But when you're the first to do something like this, you're the one, like Goldbergs, you're kind of testing the waters and seeing what works.
I'm going to give a shout out to a show, not as strongly recommended as The Mick for me.
Right.
But since we're on the whole time genre thing. A show that, I enjoy.
Okay.
I say that maybe in italics.
Yeah.
I enjoy is Fresh Off the Boat.
Okay. So we're going to the 90s.
But it much like the Goldbergs, which I guess is ABC's things.
Yeah.
They want to slap you in the face with 90s.
Very much so.
There was an episode recently where any 90s reference, it was like... Okay, yeah, that could have been there.
Yeah.
But what's the likelihood that all that just smashed together in a single night like that? Yeah. It was a Halloween episode. Okay. And the first thing that I called shenanigans on is there was a child dressed as Pikachu in 1997. Now, while that's not completely, out of the realm.
Right.
The Pokemon craze, at least for me... I could be fact-checked and be wrong, but the Pokemon craze to me didn't really boom until the 1999.
Maybe because they're near Orlando, maybe they got it sooner than we did. Not because I'm with you on about the year range there.
Because it existed.
Right.
And who's to say it didn't make it in America? But this child was also wearing, it looked like a store-bought, nice Pikachu costume.
Okay, now we can definitely call shenanigans on that.
And I'm like, were stores really making it then?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Again, could have been there. And I don't mean to get racist, but if the child was Asian,
right,
I could give free credit that, because like, oh, well, you know, I mean, I knew a lot more about Dragon Ball Z stuff before they aired it on TV because, you know, I had the connections.
Right, yeah. You knew people.
I knew people.
Yeah.
But this one's like, yeah,
yeah.
Just because it existed doesn't mean you have to put it there.
Yeah, now, if anybody does call us out in the comments for that, we want proof. I want a link,
and it's
a picture
okay.
Or something. Yeah.
It's okay. But just for me, I remember 1999 was when I really saw the commercials. I saw the TV shows. I saw the merchandise. 97, Pokemon what?
Right.
And the other thing that I call shenanigans on is they were at a Halloween party and someone was like, hey, what's this thing about Netflix?
What?
And I had to look it up. It existed.
Okay.
But in the so early stages. It's like...
Yeah. Obviously when they were just doing DVDs.
Yes. But even then it was like, did you only put that because Netflix is the biggest thing now?
Yeah. That sounds forced.
Who's really talking? Again, if you did talk about that, if any of you are old enough to actually have that conversation in 1997, going, what's this big thing with Netflix going on? Fine.
Well, from what I remember of 97, we were barely talking about the net, period.
Or DVDs.
Or DVDs, yeah.
So, yeah, I had to fact check on the old wiki. I was like, okay, it was founded in 1997, so it existed.
And it sounds like that's what somebody else did. They were like, what came out in 97 that we can put in the show?
But, like, there was another character dressed as, like, Poison Ivy from Batman and Robin. There were just so many, like...
So they fit as much of 97 as they could into one episode?
They could. And I feel like that's where, you know, you feel with Goldberg. It's like, just because it was there, we don't have to talk about it.
Right.
Like, not everybody... Because I can say this more about the 90s since I grew up more in the 90s. I mean... It wasn't like pop culture mashup every day.
Right. Other things happened.
Like sometimes you just live regular, normal lives.
Yeah. And sometimes you go to a Halloween party as a vampire or something still.
Yeah.
You know, not necessarily as Pikachu or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's just that.
I kind of want to check out that episode now just to see how ridiculous it is.
I mean, it's an okay episode.
Yeah.
But those two things really distracted me.
Yeah. Well, I mean... if our viewers aren't familiar with Fresh Off the Boat, that's also the show where Michael Bolton does a cameo to buy the family restaurant.
Yes.
So
yeah, you know what brings that up? I'm sorry. I know this was a praising of other shows we watch.
Yeah. But
then it turned to here's some things I nitpick about.
Right.
There are a lot of celebrity cameos in Fresh Off the Boat.
There are,
like Shaquille O'Neal, Vanna White, Patsy Jack, Michael Bolton, to name a few. However, I'm like, but they didn't look like that in 1990s.
That was my thing with Michael Bolton.
It's like, it is Michael Bolton.
Give him a long wig. That's all you had to do.
Like when they had this season they had Vanna White on. And it's like, Vanna didn't look like that in 1997.
Right.
Just saying.
You need to undo the plastic surgery. And
just saying.
Yeah.
Or when they had Shaquille O'Neal in the second season, it's like, you know, Shaq was a lot thinner when he was actually playing basketball. Right. Just saying.
Yeah. Now he's like 2 Shaqs.
So just saying, guys.
But with Michael Bolton, if they would have at least given him a wig, hair extension, something, I would have believed that more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still believe it's Michael Bolton.
Right.
But they're telling you, no, this is Michael Bolton, 1997.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't even playing a different character. He was playing himself.
He was playing himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, these people play, you know, their own person.
Now, the flip side of that is, I don't know if you saw the Weird Al episode of Goldberg's.
No.
Weird Al plays Weird Al.
Interesting.
And I don't know how he pushes all of his new hair into the, you know, curlier wig and the fake. He looked like 1980s Weird Al. Yes.
Interesting.
And it was Weird Al playing Weird Al. So it was like, what weird science are you working with here?
Interesting.
Interesting. So so they did it right.
They did it. That sounds very right.
But they also don't have guest stars on all the time trying to play these parts, you know.
Well, yeah, that probably helps.
Yeah.
But another show, since we're on ABC, that I really started to enjoy this year, so plug to a new show. Hopefully you get renewed if you're not already are.
Yeah.
But the show I've been really enjoying is Kevin Probably Saves the World.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a lighter tone version of My Name's Earl.
Okay, I can
Just
see that.
kind of that, down on his luck guy, maybe not the best guy, who's suddenly given this task to do better in life and help others.
Right.
Not as crude sometimes, as My Name's Earl could get, but it reminds me of that. And it's just a very lighthearted hour-long show.
And with his own guardian angel.
He has a guardian angel. But it's a lighthearted hour-long show that I think anybody could get into. You don't have to know anything.
And it doesn't feel like an hour-long show.
Some episodes do.
Okay. Well, the
but overall,
the ones I've seen,
not in a bad way.
Yeah.
Just, I will disagree. There are sometimes like, yep, I've been sitting here for an hour.
Yeah.
But not in a bad way.
Right, yeah. But like some comedies, when they go on for more than the allotted 22 minutes that we like, they start really dragging.
But But one of the reasons I did give the show a chance was it's got my main man, J. August Richards, in it.
Nice.
Gotta support my friend there.
Right.
If you remember me, the next time we meet each other, you can just say you did.
Right.
You do. You don't have to really remember me.
Right. And then you can interview him for the podcast.
Oh my goodness. That is a great goal.
Yeah.
I would love to have Deathlock, Gun, Sheriff Nate.
Yeah.
Whatever you play, I'm there, man.
Yeah. So the another one that I've started watching that is an older show, as in like 11 seasons old, or 7 seasons old, is Shameless.
Okay.
The U.S. version with William H. Macy.
Mm-hmm.
I am really enjoying the show. I didn't think I would at first, but I like William H. Macy. And
Old Bill Macy.
Right. And yeah, it's a very dark comedy show. Definitely not for Littlebeard.
Well, it's on Showtime. So
it's on Showtime.
I think anything on the premium networks is not for children.
That's very true. Yeah, I even have my doubts about HBO having Sesame Street. There's going to be a Lannister or something coming in there one day.
Or a boob.
Right. Today's letter is B. So now that we've sullied Sesame Street, but yeah, Shameless is one of those shows that really surprised me. It's done really well also, because again, it's a drama, but it's got a little bit of comedy in there. Has a bunch of lovable misfits in it, and you start to hate characters, and then you like them, and then you hate them again. And I'm only on the first season, but really enjoying it. Going to keep up with it.
Well, it's on Netflix, right?
Right.
So
yeah, the first season.
A good amount of them, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. So plug away. Yeah.
Let's see. There's so many that I watch that's not the ones we always talk about.
Yeah.
And one of them just ended. Very sad to see that one go.
Mm-hmm.
It was a show also on Showtime. So we're kind of sticking in the same network.
Yeah.
It's called Episodes.
Okay, with
Matt LeBlanc.
Matt LeBlanc, yeah.
And Tamsin Gregg and
other person.
Oh, I want to call him by 2 character names, and it's terrible because I know his first name and I know the first 3 letters of his last name.
Okay.
Stephen Mangan.
Okay.
Yeah. But and I know Tamsin from a show called Black Books. I don't know if you ever watched Black Books. She was also in Green Wing, and she's been in a lot of great British stuff.
Yeah.
So naturally, I was like, oh, the Fran from Black Books with Joey.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's a
Joey on a show that will actually succeed for a while.
Yes, and they played it smart because it's about these writers who try to make an American version of their hit British show.
Okay.
And unfortunately, as TV America can do, pretty much ruin stuff.
Right.
Let's just get it out of there.
Yeah, no.
They do great stuff, but sometimes when they're trying to make things from another, like remakes, they tend to, muck it up.
Right. Which is why we don't have an American IT Crowd or Black Books or Green Wing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of things. So they're forced to make an American remake. Studio calls all the shots on it, and they can't cast the person they want to, and they force them to cast Matt LeBlanc.
Nice. And
hijinks ensues, but there's an actual story that weaves along with it for the 5 seasons it airs.
Okay.
And it recently just ended, and kind of gave me a little bittersweet tear at the end.
Right. Now, is that one an hour long or half hour?
Half hour.
Half hour?
Wonderful half hour.
Yeah. I'll give one more plug to Showtime. Dice. It just finished the second season.
You're watching Dice?
I grew up with Andrew Dice Clay. Yeah. He was the TeeVo has to take a walk now. He has to take a breather. I grew up with the comedy styles of Andrew Dice Clay. I was not supposed to watch him growing up.
I am looking
but
dramatically in the window.
I see. And so when I saw that he had his own show out, I binged the first season, and then
Let's just say this. I enjoy the show Dice. Yeah. I too am watching Dice.
Okay.
You just don't look like a Dice person.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. Yeah.
So you're down with the leather jackets. You're down with the...
Oh, yeah. And I love how...
Explain what that is.
Yeah, had lighting the cigarette and then, putting it behind your head to take a drag. Yeah, so just typical Andrew Dice Clay.
You just don't look like an Andrew Dice Clay person.
I know, right? Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what they look like now, because the prime of that Andrew Dice Clay was a long time ago.
Right, yeah.
But
I would assume they look a lot like he does now.
Probably.
Yeah.
But just, I didn't expect the beard to be a fan of Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah, I binged the first season and then I watched the second season weekly.
Me too. Just, how did we never talk about this?
The same reason we didn't talk about Green Wing and Schitt's Creek until, just happened to mention it.
Wow.
Yeah. That's how we find out things.
Wow. But yeah, it's a great show.
It is. I mean, just even if you're not familiar with Dice, it's a genuinely well done show.
I will say, it's good that they do the character, because obviously he's playing a character version of himself.
Right.
They're probably drawing from how he really would react in certain situations, but obviously, I like to think he's not that self-involved.
Yeah, no.
He probably is a little bit, but maybe not to the extent of the show.
Yeah.
But I like that they still make him unique as a character, but we like him. And I'm going to bash one show.
Okay.
In comparison, there is a Netflix show out called Real Rob.
Okay.
Where Rob Schneider plays himself.
I've not watched it yet, but I have seen it.
First season is okay. It's good.
Okay.
So if you're interested in Rob Schneider stuff,
Normally I'm not.
First season is okay. I watched the second season in one sitting. I'm not watching anymore.
Oh, wow.
Because they really turned him into an unlikable character.
Yeah.
Like a really, really unlikable person.
So the exact opposite of Dice.
Yeah. Because, like in the first season, he wasn't a saint.
Right.
He had very unlikable moments, but there was something that still made you go, oh, well, we're still rooting for you, Rob Schneider. Right. I watched the second, it's like, if you're like this in person, I can see why you're not in movies as much anymore.
Yeah.
So, opposite of that.
Now, was this show produced or directed or anything by Adam Sandler?
I'm sure he had a hand.
Yeah.
And especially in the second season, he appears in one episode.
Okay.
So, there's that. Yeah. David Spade appeared in an episode in the first season. So, the connection is there.
Yeah, the group hangs out together.
Yeah. But, like I said, the first season wasn't so bad. Second, I don't know what they did. They probably just like the unlikable moments and just ran with it.
Yeah.
A whole mile.
Oh, wow.
Sprinting.
Yeah.
Whereas Dice kind of keeps it at that level. Yeah. There are moments you're like, Dice, man, what are you doing?
Right.
But there's a redeeming moment at the end. As in this season.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like how they did that.
Yeah.
So.
But what are we on time? Let's plug one more.
Okay.
Do you have one immediately?
Not immediately, no.
Let's see. Immediately for me, let's see. What else am I watching?
Well, do you have anything that you've been watching for a while that's still going on? Because that one of those just popped into my head.
I'll let you take it.
Bob's Burgers.
Oh yeah, I like Bob's
Burgers.
You know what's great about Bob's Burgers?
It's for the whole family.
It's for the whole family, and you don't need to watch it always. Right. You don't always have to watch it. You can just watch an episode or two or three or four or five at a time.
Right.
And you're okay.
Yeah.
Because once you kind of just get the gist that, hey, that's Bob. He makes burgers. Those are his children.
Yeah.
Gene's that, and, Louise is that, and Tina's like, And what's the mom's name? Linda.
Yeah.
It's just that kind of, I'm the mom character. Once you kind of get that, and they always establish it within like the first few minutes, you can just roll with the episode. And I love Teddy.
It's a perfect animated sitcom.
It is.
Yeah.
It and true to sitcoms, it's very singular episode. There might be some connections, if you see one with like, Aziz Ansari's character.
Yeah, they'll have some callback characters, but it's not like you're going to miss this entire plot if you don't know who that is.
Because, I can say like I didn't watch it I still don't really watch it religiously, but just when I do, love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good way to waste, and I don't mean waste in a bad way.
Right.
But it's a good way to eat away time of your day.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, and it is one of those you can have it playing in the background or anything like that, and just
you can
do a mini marathon and not even know it.
You can put it in the background; it's still good, or you can intently watch it.
Right,
it's still good.
Yeah, because you're gonna get visual jokes and stuff like that if you're actually watching it.
Yeah. So there's that.
Yeah.
So let's recount: ABC,
right?
Good job. Amazon,
good job.
Good job. Showtime.
Good job.
Good job. And Fox.
We started at Fox and ended in Fox.
We did.
Yeah.
How about that? And if anybody is involved with any of these shows, please say something.
Yeah. Yeah.
We want to talk to you. We want to tell you how good you're doing, except for Rob Schneider.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry, Rob.
So
Schneider.
Netflix, not so good of a job.
Yeah. Well, they kind of had a half and half there. And ABC kind of had a little, maybe 2/3 good there.
Yeah. So
I did have some qualms with Fresh Off the Boat.
Somebody can do the math for us.
Yeah.
So I think that about wraps it up for this week, though.
Yes. If you have a particular show you think we missed, because next week we're going to be scrounging for something to talk about.
Yeah. So recommend it to us. Put it in the comments, tweet to us, Instagram us, the whole 9 yards. Until next week.